Hello everyone, I am your host Ayushi Kara Sechia and welcome back to our channel Pabbly. So in this video we are going to learn how to create invoices from Google Sheets to FreshBooks automatically. So first let us understand what these software applications are all about. So in this particular automation we are using two software applications. The first one is Google Sheets, which is a spreadsheet program with database functionalities where we can create and share the spreadsheets. So in place of Google Sheets, we can also use Airtable, Grist or any other spreadsheet program. The second application we are using is FreshBooks, which is a business accounting software. So in place of FreshBooks, we can also use Zoho Books, QuickBooks or any other business accounting software. So the idea here is that whenever you add a sales data to your Google Sheets, automatically a new invoice should get generated into your FreshBooks account. For this, we need to create a connection between Google Sheets and FreshBooks so that whenever a data is added to Google Sheets, automatically the customer is created, a client is created into your FreshBooks account and an invoice is generated for that particular client. So, in order to create an integration between Google Sheets and FreshBooks, we are going to use a software application named Pabbly Connect. So basically, Pabbly Connect is an automation and integration software which will help us in integrating both these software applications automatically. The best part here is it doesn't require any coding skills or programming knowledge. Even a non-technical person can use this software application very easily. So how we are going to create an integration? Let us learn this on my screen. For this, let us type Pabbly, pabbly.com in our browser. This is the website of Pabbly. Here we have to come to Products and click on Pabbly Connect. This is the landing page of Pabbly Connect. As you are the first time user, you have to click on Sign Up for Free option and you can create your own account in just 2 minutes by clicking on this option. And you will get 100 tasks free every month. As I already have an account with Pabbly Connect, I'll simply click on Sign In. Let's click on Login. In the All Apps section, come to Pabbly Connect and click on Access Now. This is the dashboard of Pabbly Connect. Here we have to create a workflow. For that, come to this plus sign and click on Create Workflow. Now here we have to give a name to the workflow. So let us give the name as Google Sheets FreshBooks Integration. Here you can give the workflow name as per your requirement and simply click on Create. Now here we can see a trigger window and an action window. So Pabbly Connect works on the concept of trigger and action. Trigger means when this happens, action means do this. So in this use case, we want to create the invoices from Google Sheets in FreshBooks. So open this trigger window and here in the choose application, let us find Google Sheets. In the trigger event, we have to select new or updated spreadsheet row. Now here we can see a webhook URL and some instructions are also mentioned. So by following these instructions, you can set up the webhook in your Google Sheet. So I'll just directly take you to my Google Sheet. So this is the Google Sheet which I have created named FreshBooks Customers, where I have taken the first name, last name, email address, mobile number of the customer, along with the product name, its quantity and the unit price. And the sheet name is Invoices over here. Okay. So we have to create an integration between this particular Google Sheet and Pabbly Connect so that all the details can be captured. For that, come to this extensions, click on add-ons and click on get add-ons. Now it will take us to Google Workspace Marketplace. Here we have to search for Pabbly Connect Webhooks. Now you have to install Pabbly Connect Webhooks on your system. As you can see that it is already installed on my system, I'll just close this window. But after installing Pabbly Connect Webhooks on your system, you have to refresh your Google Sheet. I repeat, after installing Pabbly Connect Webhooks on your system, you have to refresh your Google Sheet. Now once the Google Sheet is refreshed, again come to extensions. This time come to Pabbly Connect Webhooks and click on Initial Setup. Now here it is asking for the webhook URL. So this is the same webhook URL which we have seen in Pabbly Connect. So let's move to Pabbly Connect. From here we will be copying this webbook URL and we will be pasting the same webbook URL over here in Google Sheet. Now it is asking for the trigger column. Let us read the instructions. The trigger column will be your final data column on which if the data is added, the whole of that row data will be sent to the webbook URL. So here you can see that I have the data from column A till column G and I want the data to be captured till column G. So my trigger column will be column G over here. Say if you have the data till column I and you want the data to be captured till column I, then your trigger column will be column I over here. Okay, let's click on send test. Test data sent successfully. Okay, let's click on submit. Okay, now again we have to go to extensions, Pabbly Connect Webbooks, and this time click on send on event option. So why we are selecting this option? Just because next time whenever a data is added to this particular Google Sheet, Pabbly Connect is going to capture the data automatically. We don't have to link the details again and again. Okay, so make sure you have a tick mark on send on event option. Okay, now let's go back to Pabbly Connect. And when we scroll down, here we can find the responses received and all the details related to the sheet are captured over here. Here we can find the first name, last name, email address, mobile number, product name, its quantity, its unit price, sheet name, sheet ID, okay, the spreadsheet name, and all other details are captured over here, even the row index also. So now we want that using these details, automatically a invoice should get generated. But we don't have the date over here. For that, we have to capture the date because for creating the invoices, date is required. So come to this action window and here in the choose application, let us find date and time formatter. In the action event, we have to select current date. Click on connect. Now here we have to select the format in which format we want the date. So I want the date in DD, MM and YY format. So I'm selecting this format. You can select the format as per your requirement. Do you want to include time in response? No, I don't want. That is the reason I'm keeping it as false. And let's click on send test request. Okay, and here we can see the responses received and here we can find today's date captured. Okay. Now we want to create a client in our FreshBooks account because the invoices will be generated on the name of a client. For that, come to this plus sign and click on add action step. In the choose application, let us find FreshBooks. In the action event, we have to select create client. Click on connect. Click on add new connection and click on connect with FreshBooks. Authorization successful. And now the FreshBooks account is connected to Pabbly Connect just because I was already logged into my FreshBooks account. So make sure before creating a connection, you are logged into your FreshBooks account. Now here you have to select the account ID. So in my case, it is Pabbly. So I'm selecting Pabbly over here. I'll just take you to my FreshBooks account. So here you can see my account ID name, that is Pabbly, which we have selected over here. Okay. Now here we have to give the email address, first name, last name of the customer. So we have already got these details from Google Sheets. So we are going to map all these details now. Okay, let us map it one by one. First we have to map the email address from Google Sheets. After that we need the first name, that is Swati, and the last name as Desai. Okay, we don't have the phone details and organization details. Let us leave it as blank. Even we don't have the address details. Okay, let's click on save and send test request. Okay, and here we can see responses received. Now let us check the FreshBooks clients list. Okay, I'm just going to refresh it. And here we can find a new client, that is Swati Desai, and this is the email address of this particular client. Now we want to create an invoice for this particular client. For that, come back to Pabbly Connect and here click on this plus sign add action step. Now in the application name, we have to select FreshBooks once again. In the action event, we have to select create invoice. Click on connect. Now as we have recently created a connection, I'll be choosing select existing connection option and let's click on save. Okay, so the account is connected now. Now here we have to select the account name once again, that is Pabbly. Now here we have to give the customer email address, but instead of customer email address, we have to map the customer ID. So I'll be just removing this email address from here. For that, I'll just click on this mapping button. Okay, let's remove the data. And as we have recently created a new client, from here we will be getting the client ID. Okay, let's find the client ID over here. Yes, this is the client ID. We have to map this. Here we have to map the creation date. So the date we have captured from date and time formatter. Let us map the date. Okay. If you want to mention the days due from issue, you can mention it over here. Here we want the language. So the language is English. We have to just mention EN over here. If you want to map the description of the line item, you can map it over here. Okay. Here we will be mapping the name, that is the product name from Google Sheets. Here we have to map the quantity as 1. If you have the tax details, you can map it over here. Okay. And here we have to map the unit cost from Google Sheets, and the unit cost will be this one, that is $4,700. And let's click on save and send test request. Okay, and here we can see the responses received. Okay, and here we have got an error that the field create date is not properly formatted date. So let's check the date format over here. Okay, so here we need the date format as YY, MM and DD. Okay, for that we have to change the date format in our date and time formatter from DD, MM, YY to YY, MM and DD. Okay, let's click on save and send test request. So here we have got the date in YY, MM and DD format. Okay, and we have to map it once again over here. So I'm just going to remove it and let us map the date from the date and time formatter once again. Okay, and now let's click on save and send test request. Okay, and here we can see a positive response. Now let us check whether a invoice is created into the FreshBooks account or not. Let's refresh it. Let's move to the Invoices section. And here we can find a new invoice named on Swati Desai. Okay, it is billed to Swati Desai. Date of issue, here we can find the proper date. Okay, here we can find the invoice number, amount as $4,700. Here we can find the description, rate, its quantity, and if you mention the tax details, you can find the tax details mentioned over here. Okay, so in this way, a new invoice is generated in our FreshBooks account and our integration is working fine. Let's move back to Pabbly Connect and let us save this workflow first. Data saved successfully. Okay, now we have to check this in the real time whether our integration is working or not. For that, I'll just go to my Google Sheet once again. And here I'll enter the details of some other customer. So I have entered all the details. Here I have given the first name as Avinash, last name as Jan, email address as avijan123@gmail.com. I have entered the mobile number, product name as Pabbly Connect, quantity as 1 and unit price as 5,000. Now let us check the FreshBooks account that whether a new client is created on the name of Avinash Jan as well as a new invoice is generated for this particular client or not. Let's go back to FreshBooks. We have to refresh it. Let's move to the Invoices section directly. Okay, and here we can find the new client named Avinash Jan. And I'm just going to open the invoice. Here we can see that it is billed to Avinash Jan. Here we can find date of issue. Here we can find the invoice number. Here we can find the description as Pabbly Connect, rate as $5,000, quantity as 1. So in this way we can see that our integration is perfectly working fine and the correct invoices are getting generated on the name of correct clients. Okay. So let's move back to Pabbly Connect.
and I'll just minimize all the windows. Okay, I have already minimized. So let us see in a nutshell whatever we have done till now. So first we have created an integration between Google Sheets and Pabbly Connect. Then Pabbly Connect has captured all the details of the customers and the products which the customer has purchased. And then we have used date and time formatter to capture the current date, just because we need a date to create an invoice. Then using the details of Google Sheets, automatically we have created a new client into the FreshBooks account. And even using the details, we have created the invoice into the FreshBooks account on the name of this particular client. And in this way, we have created a successful integration between Google Sheets and FreshBooks using Pabbly Connect.
So not just these software applications, you can integrate a ton of applications and automate your business using Pabbly Connect. In case of any queries, you can visit our Pabbly forum. To check the pricing details of Pabbly Connect, you can visit this particular URL. Also, the link of Pabbly Connect and this workflow is available in the description box. You can clone the same workflow into your account directly. If you really like this video, please comment, share and subscribe. Thank you everyone.